guys, today I'm reviewing one of the newest palettes from Too Faced, and it's called the Cat Eyes palette. It says Ferociously Feminine Eyeshadow and Liner Collection. They have pointed out that several of their shadows work well wet or dry. When I see that, I kind of think, okay, thanks for pointing that out, but that is something you could easily do with other deep shadows that you might be interested in their other palettes as well. The outer packaging of this, it is that metal exterior, and I think it's absolutely adorable with the leopard print there. And in front of the mirror you also have the little fold-out booklet that gives you like, what, 3 different looks that you can do. That top row giving you a very neutral look, the middle row, a couple of purple tone colors are in there, and then the bottom row you've got that matte black as well as a shade called Kitty Glitter. Absolutely don't love the name, but that comes off as just a very light wash of a shimmery shade. As far as the matte and shimmer balance, it is lots of shimmer and or sparkly shades, but you do have 2 mattes. One is Panther right down here, that's your matte black, and then this matte soft creamy shade. I really don't have any complaints about the textures of these light shimmery shades, but at the same time it's like a third of your palette are these light colors, and maybe, you know, one of those could have been something that was just a little bit of like a softer crease color, just something not quite so light. But I do know this is pretty much typical of Too Faced formats of their palettes. You're going to get 3 highlight shades in These are kind of like your pops of color, or I think that's what they're designed to be. I love Tiger's Eye. I think that's a beautiful bronzy shade. Pussycat's a lot of fun. I mean, I really adore that lilac type color. That's why my baby's nursery is painted that color. But Kitty Glitter, kind of a disappointment. It looks like it should be like a really light blue. But instead it comes off with just a shimmery light shade that's just pretty much right along the lines of all these other highlights. And these wet dry shades, I mean, really no complaints about those. They work fine as shadows. One thing though is Jungle Love. It's a very deep plum, and that ends up just looking kind of dark on your eyes. Don't expect a lot of purple to come through with that shade. Of these 3 potential like double as eyeliner type shades, Panther has been the best one for me. When you're going to use these as your winged cat eye liner, which is kind of the theory with this palette, I mean, you want that wing to last, and if you get watery at all or you find yourself rubbing at the corner of your eyes sometimes, I mean, you want a really long wearing liner to be there. When I've used Jungle Love or Leopard as my liner shades, I find they fade a lot. Panther seems to maintain its intensity, but even still, if I get watery, I can basically rub the wing away. So I'm not totally sold on that whole concept of use these as your eyeliners, because I don't think they make the best long wearing eyeliners. So I want to show you how I got today's look, and I first primed my lids, and then I used Kitten right around my innermost corner, and then I patted Kitty Glitter all over my lid. Then I took Jungle Love with a smaller brush, and I really targeted that plum on the outer part of my lid. I also used that right up in my crease, and then took a fluffier brush to blend that out. I went back to Kitten and used that as my highlight, and then I used Panther with the wet method as my eyeliner. So I just mist a little bit of water from a water bottle onto my hand, dab my liner brush onto that, then into the product, and now you've got kind of a creamy type of liner. Connected it a bit to the lower lash line, and then all over the rest of the lower lash line I used Pussycat, that soft purple. And I finished the look with some black liner in my waterline and mascara top and bottom, plus some false lashes there across the top. Too Faced has a lot of palettes I love. I'd say this one comes more under the category of something I'm a bit more on the fence about, just because I think at a glance you might expect to get a little more color out of this palette. Pussycat comes off with a little lavender pop, but everything else in here just comes off very neutral, including this shade that I would have expected more blue out of. And so if we're judging this against other neutral palettes that Too Faced make, thinking, gosh, I like the Natural Eye better than this, I like Natural at Night better, the Chocolate Bar palette, and then as far as other palettes that they do that maybe give you a little more pop of color, Romantic Eye, you know, that's a gorgeous one. Also, the A La Mode palette did pops of color, I thought, really, really well. And I recently reviewed the Too Faced Country and Rock and Roll palettes over on my other channel and did some tutorials with them, and I kind of feel the same way about this one as I do about these. You know, they're cute palettes, I can get some good looks out of them, but in the scope of like everything Too Faced has done, they're not my favorite palettes from the line, and I don't see it as a big must-have product. So thank you guys for watching, hope this was useful, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.